class will start a new topic, okay, like decision trees. Give me a minute. Whether the slide is visible to you, students, can anyone just respond me?
Yes, ma'am.
So today we are going to see about this decision tree algorithm. Here we are going to see about specific decision tree algorithm like ID 3.34.5. Okay, so that will be the algorithm that we are going to cover for today. So we'll see about this introduction about what is a decision tree. Okay, so you will be given some data points. Okay, you have previously you have clustered those data points, which is a unsupervised way of categorizing the data points. Okay, I'm giving you some images, and I'm going to ask you to categorize or group those images. Okay, which are going to have um, certain objects. Okay, all the images which have some group of people. Okay, so in the previous classes we have discussed about grouping certain objects based on unsupervised manner, which means there is no testing and there is no training of any data points or objects or cases. Okay, just based upon the distance, the similarity between the objects, you have grouped them. Am I right? So that was we have seen. Like k-means clustering, we have seen hierarchical clustering. In that, we have seen agglomerative clustering. So it is an unsupervised fashion of grouping the objects. Now in today's class, we are going to discuss about like making some decisions. You're going to classify certain objects based upon the prior knowledge that we have. What is prior knowledge? Prior knowledge is nothing but a solid fact. Solid fact means it is a data. Am I right? Data is nothing but a fact. Okay. So based upon the training data that we do have, now you are going to determine whether the new set of objects can be classified on certain classes. Okay, so here we are going to see about training the data. Training data set means the prior knowledge that we have based upon the decisions that we took in the previous training phase, and based on those facts and the data that you have in the training. Okay, now we are going to come up with a new arrival of some data objects. Now you have to determine whether what will be the target, what will be the decision that we can take. Okay, for example, if we are going to have some data points like this. Okay, data like this. Okay, okay, so this is going to be the training data sets that they have. Okay, so this data set is going to be like basketball data. Okay, so based upon where the match is going to get played, when it is going to get played, okay, whether the particular team player is going to start, and whether there is a particular team player Joey is going to be an player in the offense. Okay, where this particular player is going to be in defense. Okay, and there is a opponent team C, what will be the outcome. Okay, so all the possible combinations of event that has happened in the past will be given to you as the training data set. For example, I will give you an example. If the match is played not in the home but in somewhere else away, and if it starts by 9 p.m. and Fred is going to start, yes, okay, Joe offense is going to be in the forward side. Okay, and Joe defense is going to be in the forward. Okay, and the opposite C. Okay, there is some attribute which is either short or tall. Okay, if it is short means then the outcome of that particular match is obviously the team is going to lose the game. Okay, so in this way you will be given some facts that has occurred in the past. Okay, and based on these training data set, you have to come up with a new prediction for the incoming test data. Okay, for that reason, for performing this type of prediction and classification, you are going for a particular algorithm that is called as decision tree algorithm. Can you understand? Okay. Now, what is a decision tree? It is a very popular and it is going to be used for mainly classification and prediction. It is purely supervised. Supervised means what? You will be already given some prior knowledge about the training data set. You have the history of events that happened, which is going to be in your training data set. And now a new incoming combination of test cases, if you're encountering, now the decision tree will decide whether it will be the whether the particular match will be will win or lose. Okay, so this decision tree is basically going to represent, tree means what? Tree will have root node and it will have leaves, and there will be a subtree will be there. Again there will be a subtree. So this is called as decision tree. Am I right? So each and every node is going to represent a rule. Okay, it is going to be a rule. Every root node, every subroot node is going to be identified as a what? Rule. Okay, this rule can be easily understood by the humans, and also it can be trained to the database. Okay, knowledge data. We are going to you're based upon the rules that humans are going to create. Okay, even the humans can understand, and also it can be given as a knowledge database to feed into the system. Okay, so now we'll see how you can make a system to learn, and how it can you can put some rules over that rules. Okay, how you can actually create the rules for the decision trees. Okay, so the first point of process is you have to identify the attributes and the description of the attributes. Okay, you have to identify the attributes and description of the attribute, and you have to identify the predefined target classes. Okay, and the next point is sufficient data should be there. You see in this example, what is the attribute distribution? The attribute distributions are where have two classes, home and away. When is an attribute which has three classes, 7 p.m., 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. Okay, Fred starts, yes, no. Okay, Joe offends, center, forward. Okay, and then opponent C, tall and short. These are all the attribute values which needs to be described and identified. What is the predefined target classes? Which means what is the output class? The output is either won or lost. Either the team wins or lose. That is going to be the target classes that you have to identify. Okay, so first you have to identify the attribute and description, and then you have to identify the target classes. Usually the targets will be either a boolean, or sometimes it can be multi-class also. Okay, boolean means yes or no. Okay, multi-class means yes, no, maybe. Like that, more than two target values, you may have more than two, three or four you can have. That is called as multi-class. Okay, and another important thing is sufficient training data should be available. What is sufficient training data? You see over here, you have several 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have 10 training data, and out of 10 you have 3 training data which is losing the match, and the remaining 7 is going to win the match. Okay, so you have, if you want to perform some, if you want to make some decisions, you need some sufficient amount of training data in order to create the decision tree. Okay, so with this idea, I will just solve one simple problem. Okay, so the game is going to be away at 9 p.m. and Joey will play the center on offense. Okay, so what could be the possible outcome? Okay, so this is what our testing data set is. See, here we have training data set. Okay, now I'm going to test for a new combination away 9 p.m. no center forward tall, and what could be the outcome. Okay, for making this type of decision, you see this particular combination is not available in my training data. It is a new data which is arriving. I have to find whether the match will be a won or lose. Right? We don't know whether whether it will win or lose. We don't know. Okay. For making decision, what is the decision you have to take? Okay. For this new set of testing data, okay, you have to create a decision tree. Okay, so what is a decision tree? Okay, so decision tree is I will tell you how to do that. Decision tree is a classifier which is in a form of a tree structure. Okay, and each and every single attribute is going to be identified as a node. Okay, and leaf node are the node, okay, which indicates the value of the target attribute. Target attribute means whether this outcome will be a win or lose. Okay, that outcome will be available in the leaf nodes. Okay, the arc and the edges in a tree. Okay, in the decision tree, this node is going to be the each and every attribute, and leaf nodes are going to be the target attributes, and this particular edge is there, right? This edge is going to be identified to split the attribute. What is split the attribute? Split the attribute means, for example, if I have here as age, okay, I'm having age over here. Age is the attribute that I have in the root node. Age less than 10, I will have here, and age greater than 10, I will have here. So this edge or arc will split the attribute. Okay, age less than 10 will be in this decision tree. Age greater than 3 will be in this decision tree, in this particular decision tree. Okay, and then path. Path is going to be the disjunction of test to make the final decision. To make the final decision whether the match will be win or lose, it can be identified in the final path. Okay, that will be the destination. Okay, so now I will tell you how to build the decision tree. Okay, first you have to start from a node. For example, I am going to draw the decision tree for this particular example. Okay, I am making a decision tree like this. Okay, if Fred going to start, yes or no. If Fred starts means usually it is a lost. That means the match will be lost. You see over here, whenever Fred starts, okay, whenever the Fred is going to start, you see over here, if it is a S means in most of the training data set I have, if Fred starts means the match will be lost. If Fred doesn't start, and if Joe is going to be the offense, and if Joe is playing in the center, then there is a possibility for, then the decision will be won. If he is going to be in the forward, then obviously the match will be lost. Okay, so this is how you have to construct a decision tree. Okay, so now our question is, which attribute can be the starting node, which node could be the next targeted node, and when you have to stop with it. So these are the three main questions that we have in order to draw the decision tree. Okay, so now if we are looking over here, in order to make this particular decision trees, we are having some algorithm for constructing the decision tree. Okay, so the algorithm is going to be like ID3 C4.5 algorithm. Okay, so this is the basic idea behind this algorithm for building the decision tree. Okay, so what is this algorithm? Okay, initially you will sample all the given training data set in certain classes. Okay, and next step is you have to partition the given data set, okay, based upon the attribute which has the highest information gain. Okay, and then you have to further divide the tree into small nodes, okay, until all the nodes are getting splitted. Okay, so this is the basic idea behind this. You're going to partition your given nodes into tree. So how to do that? Okay, for example, I will tell you how to find out. Okay, in order to measure the similarity between the given set of training data set, you have to measure a particular technique called as entropy. Entropy will tell you to measure how far the given data sets are homogeneous, how far they are similar to each other. Okay, I'll give you an example. A given set of training data set is given to you. Okay, you have to identify, you have to calculate this entropy by dividing that particular set of classes into two, one as positive class and negative class. For example, you see over here in this example, if Fred starts yes and no, how many positive, how many negative, you have to calculate. And if it is a no, and if Joe offense is going to be the given condition, how many positive center, how many negative center, negative forward. Okay, how many positive centers and how many negative forwards you have to identify. And based on that, you have to iteratively calculate the entropy for all the attributes. Okay, so how to calculate that? Okay, I have Fred is going to be starting. Okay, how many positive, how many negative, you have to find out how many positive and how many negative. I have positive cases and negative cases. In order to find out the entropy of that particular set, the formula is probability of positive multiplied by log probability of positive to the base 2 minus probability of negative multiplied by log of probability of negative to the base 2. Okay, I'll show you an example. Totally 25 training samples are there, out of which if Fred is going to start, okay, I have 15 positive cases. 15 positive, that means 15 is positively he can win, and 10 cases is saying it will lose the match. Okay, 15 training out of 25, 15 data records is saying there is a positive result can come, and then 10 data records are saying if Fred starts means he will lose. Okay, now you have to find out the entropy of the given sample. Entropy means how far the data points are homogeneous to each other. Okay, so how to find out? So entropy of that sample is equal to minus 15 divided by 25, because out of 15 how many positive cases? 15 multiplied by log of 15 by 25 to the base 2 log minus 10. 10 is going to be negative cases. 10 divided by 25 log 2 multiplied by 10 divided by 25. Okay, so this is how you can find out the entropy of a given set of samples. And the total number of entropy samples you have to calculate for every attribute, and you have to find out the information gain. Okay, so what is information gain? Okay, information gain is going to be the expected amount of information which is required to classify the object. Okay, the expected amount of information that you have to classify the object, you will find out the entropy. And the gain of the particular overall gain that we get from a particular branch is going to be gain is equal to, okay, that is the information that you got, okay, multiply that is information of the particular sample minus the entropy. Okay, so I will tell you how to find out I. Okay, I is nothing but the information that you are going to find out, the amount of information which is needed to decide whether this particular sample is a positive or negative. That is going to be I. Okay, so I you can find out by minus p divided by p plus n log 2 into p divided by n, p plus n minus n divided by p plus n log to n p plus n. Okay, so this is the formula for finding out the amount of information. So I means the total amount of information which is required to decide whether a particular sample belongs to a positive or negative. Okay, for that you have to find out the information I, and after that you have to find out the entropy of that particular class, and then you have to find out how far an information can be gained from this branch. Okay, see, for example, if you look over here in this example, if Fred starts means this branch yes will give you lost information. Okay. If no means again Joe offense, if this is going to be the branch, if it is center means it will be a 1, it will be a loss. Like this, you have to find out the total amount of information which is required to classify the given problem. See, Fred starts, if it is no, then you have to come to this particular branch. Okay. For making these decisions, you have to calculate the information gain. Okay. So I will solve one problem so that you can decode this more easily. Okay. I'll just start with this. Okay. The first step is you compute the entropy of the classes. Okay, you compute the entropy of the classes. You know what? How to find out the entropy? Minus p. P means positive cases divided by p plus n means both positive and negative. Log, you find out this is the first step. Okay, so for each attribute you have to compute the entropy. What is entropy? The amount of information which is required to calculate the to classify the nodes. Okay, to make the decision rules. Okay, and for each attribute you compute how much information can be obtained from that. Okay, for finding the information almost the same entropy formula will be used here, but there will be small difference will be there. I will tell how to do that. Okay, and then the next step is you calculate the overall entropy of that particular attribute and you find out the gain. Okay, so gain is equal to entropy of the given class minus entropy of the given attribute. Okay, so I'll just take this example. Okay, this is going to be the training data set that you have. Okay, so you just see P means positive, N means negative. Okay, so the first example, this is going to be the labeling of the example. So we don't want to consider this particular column. Okay, this is just a serial number, like serial number we have. Okay, if age is less than or equal to 30 and the income is going to high, and if there is if he is not a student and he is having a fair credit rating. Credit rating means how far, like the CIBIL score that we do have in India, right? Okay, in the same way, credit rating, whether he will buy the computer or not. So this is going to be our decision tree. Okay, for this particular training data set, you have to decide a decision tree. You have to create a decision tree. So that is our problem of interest. You see over here, I'll start the solution for this. Okay, I'll start the solution with this. Okay, so how to compute the entropy of the class? Okay, so whether he will buy the computer or not, that is our problem of interest. Our question is, I will just tell you what is the question. Okay, the question is for the age less than or equal to 30 and income is equal to medium and rate and student is equal to yes and credit card rating is equal to fair, whether he will buy the computer or not. That is our question. Okay, so you will be given a data set, training data set like this. Based on this training data set, you have to design a decision tree. You have to build a decision tree based upon the algorithm. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, first you examine into our example. Okay, first step is, what is the first step? You have to compute the entropy of the classes. What is the entropy of the class? Minus p divided by p plus n. This is the formula. Okay, so you just go back to our training data set. Okay, you see here how many yes are available for buying a computer. 1 2, okay, 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So 9 positive is there and how many negative there? 1 2 3 4 5. So 9 positive and 5 negative. Okay, so you apply in this particular formula. Entropy of the class is equal to minus P. That means we are calculating how much information is required to build a decision tree. Okay, for that you have to calculate the entropy of the classes. So entropy I of bias yes, comma bias no is equal to I of 9 comma 5. Okay, 9 comma 5 because 9 positive is there and 9 positive is there and 5 negative is there. Am I right? So you find out the entropy of the class, which is equal to minus 9 divided by 14 log base 2 9 by 14 minus 5 by 14 log 5 by 14 base 2, which is equal to 0.94. This is going to be the entropy of the entire decision tree class. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to find out which attribute should be the root node. Okay, I will tell you how to do that. Next step is, what is the next step? For each attribute, compute this entropy. You compute the value of I. Okay, so what are the attributes which is available? Age, income, student, credit card. So 4 attributes are available here. So for these 4 attributes, you compute the value of information gain. So how to do that? What is the formulas? Again, the same formula that we have. Almost the same formula for each class you are identifying it, right? So for each attribute, you are going to find it out. Okay. So for each class means how many classes are there here? Buys computer, yes. Buys computer, no. So only 2 classes. So for those 2 classes, we have found out the entropy value. Now what we are going to do is you have to find out the entropy of age, entropy of income, entropy of student and entropy of rating. Which attribute has the highest entropy value will become the root node of our decision tree. Okay, so I will see how to do that. Now, what is the first attribute? Entropy of age. Okay, so the first attribute is going to be entropy of age. So what is the age attributes? You just look over here. Okay, age attributes. Age is having 3 different attribute classes. One is less than 30, 31 to 40 and greater than 40. So we have 3 entropy for ages. Okay, am I right? You see over here? You see over here entropy has less than 30 we have, 31 to 40 we have, greater than 40 we have. So 3 classes we do have for this particular age. Now what you have to do is you have to find out for yes. Okay, what is yes? Yes is available here, right? In yes, how many less than or equal to 30 is available? You have to find out. Okay, so I'll just make it over here. Less than or equal to 30, less than or equal to 30. Okay, 31 to 40. Okay, I have 3 classes and then greater than 40. Greater than 40. Okay, less than 40. Okay, for positive values, a negative value I have. Am I right? Positive negative means less than 30 buys computer yes, less than 30 buys computer no. So I have 2 different classes there. So for buys computer is equal to yes. Okay, how many less than or equal to 30 is available? You just check. Yes, less than or equal to 30. You just check whether there is anything available less than 30. For yes, we have here. Yes, less than or equal to 31 and yes, less than or equal to 32. Is there anywhere for buys computer yes, less than or equal to 30 is available? No. So for less than or equal to 30, yes is going to be 2. Okay. Next condition is, you just make this as a matrix so that you can understand easily. For same yes, so for no, okay, n means no, which means the person will not buy the computer. Okay, for the decision class no, you just check whether there is less than or equal to 30. See here you have one less than, no, for no less than or equal to 30 is there. Again for no you have less than or equal to 30, 2, and then for no less than or equal to 33. Anywhere anything is ever 3. Okay, so for this class it is going to be 3. In the same way you have to check for 31 to 40 who can buys the computer. Okay, who buys the computer, you see over here, I will change the color. You see over this example we have yes 31 to 41, the person who can buys the computer in the age group 31 to 40. We have yes 31 to 42, and then yes 31 to 43, yes 31 to 44. So you just write it over here as 4. You understand? Now for 3140 who will not buy the computer? See, 31 to 40 who will not buy the computer, there is no such cases. So you just mark it as 0. Just mark it out here as 0. Greater than 40 who buys the computer, yes. Okay. Greater than 40, we see over here, yes. Okay, see here 1. Okay, and then 2. So this 2 thing is available. Who can buy the computer? So 2. Is there anything available? Yes, here this is also available. So 3. So 3. Okay. Now greater than 40 who will not buy the computer? Okay, we have here 1 is there, and then here we have 2 is there. Okay, so 2 out of these training data set less than or equal to 30, the age is less than or equal to 30, who can buys the computer is 2. Less than or equal to 30 who will not buy the computer is 3. 31 to 40 who buys the computer is 4. 31 to 40 who will not buys the computer is 0. Greater than 40 who will buys the computer is 3. Who will not buy the computer is 2. So now you come back to here. Okay, so I am just writing over this in a form of a small table. 2, 3, 4, 0, and then 3, 2. Okay, so now for this positive and negative cases, you have to find out the entropy. How to find out the entropy? 2 divided by 5 multiplied by log of 2 divided by 5. Okay, you will get the value as 0.97. If any one of the entropy is going to become as 0, you just mark that particular information gain as 0. Okay, always that was the case. Okay, have over here, and then 3, 2. Okay, you find out the entropy. How to find out this entropy? We have the formula over here. For finding that I value, we have the formula over here. Minus p divided by p plus n log p p plus n to the base 2 minus n divided by. Okay, so you apply this formula over here. You will find out the value of I. You will find out the value of this for less than 30, 31 to 40, and 40. Now what you are going to do is, you have identified the entropy for every classes for each. Now you have to compute the overall entropy of that particular attribute. So how to compute the overall attribute classes? 2 plus 5. Okay, p plus n. That was the formula over here, right? Okay, we have a formula over here, right? See, we have overall entropy for this class is going to be summation of p plus n divided by p plus n multiplied by I into pi comma ni. This is for entropy of every expected class objects that you have to do. Okay. Entropy of this particular age column is going to be 2 plus 3, 5 divided by, what is the total number of columns that we have, totally 9 plus 5, 9 plus 5, 14. Okay, so 5 divided by 14 multiplied by what is the information gain that we have? 0.97 plus 4 plus 0, 4. 4 divided by 14 multiplied by 0. So that is going to be the information. Okay, and then 5 divided by 14, that is 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 divided by 14 multiplied by 0.97. So we get the value as 0.6. 0.6935. So this is going to be 0.6. Now the overall information gain that we have on this particular column is 0.94. This is the entropy of the class. Entropy of the class minus the entropy of the particular attribute. So 0.94 minus 0.6, which is equal to 0.24. Okay, this is for one particular column. Try to understand. So this is going to be for age, I do have 0.6. 0.6 is going to be the entropy that information gain that I have for this age. Okay. Now in the same way, you have to compute for the income column. This attribute next is going to be income. Okay. Income has totally three classes. One is high, medium and low. Okay. So now what you have to do is you have to repeat the step again for that entropy of income. Okay. If the income is high, the person will buy the computer, person will not buy the computer. For medium, if the income is medium, the person buys the computer, yes, and the person who will not buys the computer. For the income low, the number of person who buys the computer and who will not buy the computer. So you once again compute the information here. Okay, I value you have to find out and compute the entropy of that particular income. So how to find out? 2 plus 2 divided by 14 plus 6 by 14, 4 by 14. You are getting the value of 0.9791. So the overall information gain is equal to information gain entropy of class value 0.94 minus 0.91. So the value is 0.02. So the gain of this particular column is 0.02. So for like this, for every column you have to find out the gain. In this way I am going to find it out for whether the particular person is a student, yes or no. For that I am finding the gain I am finding for that 0.15. The value is 0.15. Okay. The same way I am finding it for entropy of the credit rating. Okay, credit rating is fair and excellent. I'm getting the gain as 0.04. 0.04. So for all the attributes, age, income, student and credit rating, I'm finding the information gain. Out of this, which attribute is getting the highest gain, highest information gain? Okay, so you see here this is going to be very, very high, which means this attribute age will become the root of my decision tree. Okay, you see over here. You see over here, since age has the highest gain, okay, start splitting the data set using the age attribute. If age is going to be less than or equal to 30, 31 to 40, greater than 40, you just split and you just create the root of that particular decision tree. So age is going to become the root of the decision tree. Okay, so now the next step is, okay, the next step is going to be you examine these classes. Okay, you see here for age 31 to 40, all the classes are going to be yes, which means if the age is going to be 31 to 40, obviously the user will buy the condition, buy this computer is going to be yes. Okay, so you don't want to split this particular decision tree once again. Do you understand? Because if the age is 31 to 40, okay, he will surely buy the computer because all the training data set is giving you the same homogeneous result. So if 31 to 40 means that the decision of buying the computer is yes, 100% is yes. Now you see over here, if it is less than or equal to 30 means he may buy the computer or he may not buy the computer. No, yes, both the classes are being available. Here also you see yes is also there, no is also there. So you have to split this node and this node. You have to stop here. You have to stop this particular node. You see over here what I'm going to do here. Okay, if the age is going to be between 31 to 40, obviously the decision class is going to be he will buy the computer, yes. Okay, next step is, okay, after this particular point, what you have to do is, again you have to start the same process by splitting, continuing the remaining two branches. What are the branches which is available? These two branches you have to once again split. Okay, you see how to split that. You once again compute the entropy of that particular class, buys yes, buys no. Okay, so you see over here how many buys yes is there, 1, 2 is there, 3 no is going to be available. So it is going to be 2, 3. So you find out the entropy of 2, 3. Okay, so for this class the entropy is going to be 0.97. Now again you compute the entropy of the attribute income, student, credit rating. Okay, you just do it once again. So I am finding the entropy of income and finding the gain. I am finding the entropy of student. I am finding the gain. I am finding the entropy of credit and I am finding the gain. Now, which node is having the highest entropy? Okay, which node is having the highest entropy? Obviously, the student is going to have the highest. See here, I am having 0.57, 0.97, 0.21. So which node is having the highest entropy? Which is student is having the highest. So I'm going to split this particular node into two. Okay, after age, okay, if the person is student, okay, if a person is student, obviously he will buy that particular computer. Okay, in case if the person is not a student, he will not buy the computer. So that is the decision tree I'm going to build now. Okay, next step is I have this particular, now I have to stop over here. See, if the age is less than 30 and if the person is a student, obviously he will buy the computer. If he is not a student, he will not buy the computer. So this is how I am building the decision tree. Next, I have to split this particular branch. This branch is still having yes and no combinations are there. Now I have to build the decision tree for this right branch. Okay, so if I see over here, okay, right side, once again I have to compute the entropy of the class. Again I am going to get the value as 0.97. I am getting a value 0.97. Okay, once again for computing income, medium and low, you have to find out the entropy and find out the gain. For student and credit card rating, I am going to find out the gain. Actually I am giving this you as a small homework to you. You compute the gain, entropy of income, you compute the gain and entropy of income, you compute the gain and find out the entropy of credit card rating. Okay, obviously, okay, when I am finding this answer, okay, I am getting this credit card rating is getting the maximum gain. For example, I am getting here as I am just writing 0.12. Okay, I am getting this value as 0.05. Okay, and 0.45. So obviously this particular credit card is getting the highest gain. Okay, so I will make the credit card as the root node over here. So if the age is going to be between 31 to 40, obviously the user will buy the computer. Am I right? This was our first initial decision tree we built. And if the age is less than 30 and if he is a student, if the student is yes, he will obviously buy the computer. If he is not a student, he will not buy the computer. And he is greater than 40 years. Now our root node is credit card. Am I right? So our right tree, we have made this credit card as our node, and then credit card is going to be fair means he will buy. If the credit card rating is going to be excellent means he will not buy the computer. So like this, you will be building this decision tree. Okay. So now our question is, for age less than 30, income is equal to medium. If student is equal to yes, credit card is equal to fair, whether the customer will buy the computer or not. Okay. So age less than 30. So it will come to this particular branch. Okay. If student is equal to yes, if yes means the branch will take over here. Okay. What is the decision it will take? He will obviously buy the computer. Like that we can classify and predict what could be the decision of that particular customer, whether he will buy the computer or not. The probability is yes. Yes, obviously, if his age is less than 30 and if he is a student, okay, we are not bothering about income and credit card rating itself, because our decision tree is having the main attribute that will help us to decide whether the user will buy the computer or not. If the age is known and if he is a student or not, you can easily tell whether the particular user will buy the computer or not. So in our case, if the age is less than 30, so it will take this particular branch. If he is a student, obviously he will buy the computer. So the result is yes. Okay. So now, dear students, if we look over this example, okay, I will just share this slide with you. You just complete this small problem. Okay, like computing the entropy over here, entropy of income and gain, entropy of student, and entropy of credit card. This alone you just take as a small homework and you compute it. You can find credit card rating will be having the highest entropy, and you will make this credit card as the next sub node for building the decision tree, and you can build up a decision tree which is a final decision tree. Okay, so if it is a age less than 30, he is young. If he is 31 to 40, middle age. Greater than the age, which will be senior person. If he is a student, yes means he will obviously buy the computer. If no, he will not buy the computer. If the credit card rating is no, is going to be fair, he will not buy the computer. If it is excellent, he will buy the computer. Like that, you can build the decision tree and you can end up the result. Okay. So this is a very important, and if you understood this problem, this will be very, very easy. I will share this slide with you. You can just go through that. If you have any doubts, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Okay. You complete this as a small homework and come for the next class. Okay. I will give you another set of problem where you can build this decision tree. Surely you can even build this decision tree in or using online tools also. That is also available. You can just go through that. If possible, we can do this as a small component in our lab class. Okay. Decision tree using this ID3 algorithm. Okay. So here I will stop. Dear students, if you have any doubts, please